Hey guys, it's Nicole with Life's Sweeter Side, and tonight I'm working on royal icing transfers. And so basically I'm going to make these little flowers that make them ahead of time, and then I can just put them away and they can store them until I need them. And I'm making some summer hats, so this is going to be on the band of the summer hats. So what I did was I just found a picture of a flower that I liked and just kind of made my own template. And what I do is I just tape it to my counter so it doesn't move on me. And then I take my parchment paper and tape that down as well. Tape. Okay, and then I tape my parchment paper down so it doesn't move. This one I'm going to tape it on both sides because it's got a crease down the middle from there. It's the sheets that are already cut for you. Okay, and then the consistency that you want it to be pretty thick. So let me show you how thick here. Okay, so that's pretty good. Basically, you don't want the flooding consistency. If you had the flooding, it would just run all over it. It wouldn't hold its shape. And it's important on these, because they are so small, that they keep their shape. I do mostly do the PYO dots, the paint your own color palettes, if you will, with the royal icing transfers. But these are great because you can get them all made up and then kind of have a whole bunch of them and just stored. So if you're making a cookie that just kind of feels like it needs something extra on it, you can just add this to it. So okay, so I'm going to go ahead and have my consistency. I already had that ready. Just put it in a bag here. I guess I can put it all in there. And you can tell I'm using just the small bags. I want to have control over it pretty well, so the smaller the bag, the easier it is to control. Kind of more like a detail bag. Okay, and then get that out of the way. I have my scribe here. Okay, so let's just cut a hole. These aren't real big, so I don't want it to be too big, but we'll test it out here and see how it... Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so what I want to do, you'll notice on these you have, looks like 2 different colors, which I definitely want to do the 2 different colors. You don't have to, but I want to do it in 2 steps. So I'm going to do the bigger part, the outside of the flower first, because I'll come back after those are dry and put in the centers. So all I'm going to do is what's really cool is you just follow the outline then of the flower and fill it in. This makes it super easy. You can do lettering this way. And a lot of times if you just have leftover icing and you're not quite sure what you want to do with it, you can do something like this. And I'm just going to fill it all in because I'm going to do the center of it separately. Okay, where did I put my... Okay, and then I'll just smooth it out. And once we get the centers in here, it'll look a lot better. But yeah, if you have leftover icing, this is a good thing to do. That way you're not wasting it. Sometimes people will just put the leftover icing in the fridge or in the freezer and save it. I do that with black a lot because I don't make a lot of black. So that when I do a good bag of it, then I'll just put it in. Okay. Just need to get some of my air bubbles out because that's too much messing. I'm going to grab a paper towel here. If you happen to hear any screams in the background, it's because my son is playing video games with his friends. And for some reason, you have to get really loud, I guess, when you play with them. I mean, I guess it's better than the alternative. It's worse things they could be doing, but geez, it gets loud. Okay, and you don't have to skip flowers like this. I'm just doing it because I made this template pretty quickly and I didn't really, I should have spaced them out a little bit better. Just because I don't want to make a ton. Ready? Okay, so I let them dry a little bit. Normally I let them dry longer, but I want to just show you guys. So I took a small set of of all of the ones that I did just to show you guys what I do after this. So then I'll just put the final little whatever other color I'm using. And this yellow is pretty thick as well. You don't want it too thick. I would say just a little bit less thick than what the green was. But you don't want it flooding consistency, otherwise it'll run all over. But if it's too thick, you'll get craters in it when it dries. So I'm just gonna poke these down a little bit. Okay, and then once I get that, of course, they need to dry just as long. So when my other ones are completely dry, I'll finish them up and have a bunch of them, just have a bunch of these made. All right, cute. And they just pop right off of the, they're not dry yet, but they just pop right off of the wax, or not wax paper, off the parchment paper when they're ready. And you can just put them in a container, put them in a airtight container, and you can store them.